Alright, let's take a look at Superman vs. The Flash. This is the limited collector's edition. This is the brand new one that had come out just a month or so ago. I do have the original. Here's the original. You know what's funny? This is the old 70s one, but the blue is a lot darker here than this one here. So here's the original. It was $1 back in the day, and here this is $15 now nowadays. This was a bunch of reprints. You see, you're going to see all this when I go through the new one. The thing about these big, like oversized tabloid editions is that I find that the color inside them fades really quickly. It's not the same thing as the Marvel paperbacks. Marvel paperbacks, the color is very vibrant, etc. Here's the Fortress of Solitude plans. Let's take a look at the back here. The back cover has the Flash facts and this whole business where you're encouraged to take this back cover apart to make this tabletop diorama. So this is the original. Let's take a look at image size and trim size here. Same image size, but as you see, like, yeah, I feel like the margins are thinner in this, so they give you a lot more size of the actual panels here. Pretty cool stuff. And one last thing before we get on with the with going through the new one is that the binding is different. So here they do have staples, but it's still glue bound, and that's what all these tabloid editions were like. And here these are just saddle stitch, or what the big boys and girls call saddle stitch in the industry, but I don't know if there's another name for it. But basically it's just you know, staples, and you know, it resembles a saddle, right? So all right, Superman vs. The Flash. So a lot of this was reprints. Usually that's what they did back in the day. I find that DC did do a lot of original stuff, which is really cool. And Marvel did it as well. I mean, Bicentennial Battles is like that. So here they're racing. It's pretty awesome. They're going through sand dunes and everything. This will give 2 stories of them racing. Pretty cool stuff. Faster than a speeding bullet. Here's Kryptonite. And then Flash gonna help Superman out. And they're in different parts of the world, which is pretty cool. I'm Clark Kent, a reporter. I was covering your race through Canada by helicopter when I saw you fall. Now this is what Canada looks like, by the way. It's all sand. It's all like snow and tundra. That's totally accurate. So here they smash through all these like ice walls and stuff. There's a lot of action going on. I like the Justice League are following along. Those special ropes will tighten if you try to vibrate free. And it's like, strange, I see them, but they're going much slower. I wonder why. Yeah, it's because it's like guys disguised as them. Here's the Fortress of Solitude. This is the classic one I love, with the giant yellow door and a big yellow key. And here he's going through the Fortress of Solitude. So these big oversized editions were meant as gifts, and you saw them at like either bookstores or usually at like grocery stores and stuff like that. And they had like different features and things like this. It's pretty cool. A little extras and stuff. This goes through. So I guess this is what the Fortress of Solitude was shaped like in the ice back in the day. He's got all these like these different things. And here's the menagerie here, the zoo. Pretty cool stuff. Uh-oh, there's a special warning. So he needs to go to the second race. Here's the Flash puzzle that was in the original. I don't think this was filled out in my old edition. Of course, I just, no, it's not. It's here it is. Sometimes when you buy these used, they're filled in. How to draw the Flash, pretty cool stuff. Carbon Infantino, pretty neat. Flash, the race to the end of the universe. So here's another story. Ross Andru and Mike Esposito, story by Nelson Bridwell. Here's the costume coming out of the ring. Pretty neat stuff. And here's Flash beating up Weather Wizard and stuff, and Superman's helping out. And here the Justice League is being attacked. Dun dun dun. Great Galaxy is a giant volcano erupting on Ventura. And here's another Flash puzzle. Oh no, actually this is the Flash puzzle, but this is the answers. See, here are the answers. Cowls, Wally, Elongated Man, all this cool stuff. Pretty neat. So here they have to, I think they have to do the bidding of these aliens to save the Justice League. Flash, need help, urgent, Superman. Dun 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 dun. Here's Reverse Flash. And here, they're captured. Is that Abracadabra? I can't remember. The thing is, they had all these classic villains that they got a lot of mileage out of before Crisis, and then they just barely used them, right? Here's some science facts, I guess. Galactic speeds, a Milky Way contains 200 billion stars. Pretty cool. A little tiny extra here. Flash facts. And here on the back is the Superman vs. Flash tabletop diorama. You're supposed to cut out white areas marked X, so you cut all this out carefully around the cape and all that stuff. This would take like a whole afternoon. All this, you cut all that out, and then you sort of cut this out, cut that out, put like this thing out, and put this against this, so that these edges fit through slots here, I think. Oh yeah, these slots go through these things. And there, I don't know anyone who ever did this. You would ruin your comic. Well, it's a pretty neat idea. A lot of these DC ones had this. And there you go, the Flash, Superman versus Flash. Here's put it like this. Dun dun dun. Old and new. I love that they're re-releasing these like this. I love the big oversized pages, and I like the paper that they're using as well. It's thicker than this paper, which is yellowing, of course, but it still resembles this kind of paper. It doesn't have that gloss, and I really enjoy that. So I hope you like going through this with me. If you like what you saw, please give a like to this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Lots of great comic book stuff on here. So until next time, take care.